Or sometimes Stephan will go upstairs and me and my daughter will be in our bed alone. And I'm not sure if I called 911 before that email or after that email. I think that's when I called 911. I must have gotten a response from her teacher at that point. I got there and I think I called the cops around that time.
Jennifer Soto has claimed to investigators that she called 911. She has told them, I've gone over these new audio interviews. I'm really going through them with a fine-tooth comb, what we got from the state's attorney's office down there in Florida, comparing it to what cops gave us before. And boy, I see what was redacted. I'm comparing sound waves to see what was missing and what we have now. And what I see, what they kept redacting, is all the times Jennifer Soto told police officers that she herself called 911 to report her 13-year-old daughter, Madeline Soto, missing.
So then I drove back to my mom's office. Everything was driving. And then I think that's when I called 911. I must have gotten a response from her teacher at that point.
And I'm sorry, but it was a bald-faced lie. I'm going to show you. But first, let me try and explain a little bit what I'm talking about. Previously, we got all this data. We got all this information. We got all this audio from the state's attorney's office. Well, first we got it from police, then we got it from the state's attorney's office. And some people just assumed, oh, it's the same old thing, but it's not. For example, this top line right here, if you can see where I'm scrubbing, I put the new stuff on the top line, lined it up, and that's the old one. So in the old one, cops took out stuff. You can see there's no sound waves there. I'm comparing it to where the sound waves are. And every time I see a discrepancy, I'm like, oh, let's see what they took out before. I'm finding it fascinating. They took out all the times Jennifer Soto claimed she was the one who personally called 911 when she did not. No wonder cops thought initially they had audio of Jennifer. So this new interview, the new stuff where we were missing before, is from February 27th, 2024 at 23:32 hours. So basically it's almost midnight. It's 11:32 p.m. It's Tuesday. Maddie has been missing about 48 hours. She supposedly was dropped off close to school by Jennifer's boyfriend, Stephan Stearns. And you can hear old Stephan chime in here too. Stearns starts to ask, when Jennifer meets Detective Myra Tagler with the Sex Crimes Unit down in OCSO, Jennifer meets her for the first time this late Tuesday, and Myra is onto her. She's onto Stephan. She's on top of things. She knows something is rotten in Denmark. Something doesn't smell right. Something is wrong with this couple.
As far as I know, my daughter came downstairs to get ready in her. My sister brought my daughter home. Did you see your daughter on Monday morning?
So she's getting Jennifer off to herself so she can talk to Jennifer in a car alone. Great audio. Stearns is just dipping in there asking, are we going to be able to go back home soon? And Detective Myra is saying, I'll explain it to you in a second, because Detective Tagler is about to say, look, you can't go back into that condo at all. But I find it fascinating several things. The first thing we missed here that they previously redacted is Jennifer explaining to Detective Tagler, sometimes Stephan will go upstairs and me and my daughter will be in our bed alone.
Or sometimes Stephan will go upstairs and me and my daughter will be in our bed alone.
How many times? Now, Jennifer acted like, oh, this is just an anomaly. This is a rarity. But I was just so tired Sunday night, February 25th, tired from having nothing to do the next day, basically, except she could have taken Maddie to school herself if Maddie were alive. But anyway, Jennifer was claiming she was so tired she had to kick Stephan and, Maddie out the room, go sleep in guest bedroom number 4. Tagler obviously picked up on that weirdness. That's weird, and Tagler's digging into her like, wait, how often does this happen? Now, Jennifer said, sometimes Stephan will go upstairs and me and my daughter will be in our bed alone.
Or sometimes Stephan will go upstairs and me and my daughter will be in our bed alone.
So she's acting like only sometimes Stephan will be upstairs and Jennifer and Maddie will be downstairs in the big master bedroom, primary bedroom. Number 1 on the first floor. How many times is sometimes, I'm asking. But beyond that, every other time, and we'll go through each of these redactions before I let you listen to the whole thing. But this is Tuesday night. No wonder they hauled Jennifer's butt and Stephan's into Central Ops down there in Orange County in Florida the very next day. They were down there because they knew, even before they found all the nasty CSAM on Stephan's phone, they were getting the heebie-jeebies with this couple. You can tell. Tagler was really questioning Jennifer, and Jennifer was lying. Jennifer said at least 5 times, actually at least 7 times or more, between this interview coupled with the interview from the next day, all this redacted stuff we're finding out now, I'm going to pull it all into here so you can listen to it in one fell swoop. And I'll put a countdown. Number 1, she says in this interview, I'm not sure if I called 911 before that email or after that email.
And I'm not sure if I called 911 before that email or after that email.
Or after that email. That's the first time. She's talking about when she emailed Maddie's pedo teacher. How many pedos are in this case? Remember him, the Brett guy, Brett, who's been arrested and he's pled not guilty, and we got to keep up with his case too. Jennifer was emailing him to say, have you seen Maddie today? Has she attended any of her classes? And he told her no. Jennifer's explaining that to the detectives, and she's saying, I'm not sure if I called 911 before that email or after that email. The second time, she says, I think that's when I called 911.
So then I drove back to my mom's office. Everything was driving. And then I think that's when I called 911. I must have gotten a response from her teacher at that point.
I think she's talking about driving back to her mom's office or after this point. The third time, we talked about in the previous video. Now, the third time she claims she called 911, but detectives started catching her on it because Tuesday night, with Jennifer saying, I called 911, I'm sure they pulled all the 911 calls they had. No wonder cops were like, yeah, we do have Jennifer's 911 call, or the records keeper down there at first thought they had Jennifer's 911 call, but it's not Jennifer. It's Jennifer's sister and her mother. Apparently that's who really called 911. And we don't have those unredacted calls yet. We only have 3 calls. None of them sound like Jennifer. Jennifer might be in the background, but she's not the one who initiated the call, like literally picked up her phone and dialed 911 like she's pretending she did. So the third time was the one we went over previously from the February 28th audio. Jennifer saying, so I called 911.
Gotcha, okay.
This is when I start to panic and freak out because I know something is wrong. So I call. Sorry, I just thought about that image.
It's okay. Take your time.
So I called 911.
So you called 911?
Or I don't know if I did or my sister did, but somebody called 911.
What was Stephan's reaction when you said you were calling 911?
And only when cops catch her on it. Wait, you called 911? And then she goes, oh, I don't know if I did or my sister did, but somebody called 911. And the fourth time she's claiming she mixes up her pronouns. You know, she doesn't know I from we from what. The fourth time she's saying we started calling 911.
And he made it to the office, and then we started calling. I was talking to 911, waiting for the cops, kept calling them back.
I was talking to 911, waiting for the cops, kept calling them back. Now, if you listen to those 911 calls, I should probably plop one in here somewhere. You quite clearly hear Jennifer's mother very frustrated.
No, it's not a medical issue. We have a missing child since this morning. We already called 3 times. And how long more do we need to wait? It's a child missing. This is an emergency. So this is not important for you guys? Really?
Wanting to know why the cops haven't arrived. You hear whom Jennifer is saying is her sister. Sounds like a younger person.
Okay, and the child that you're trying to report missing, are you calling on behalf of the parent?
Yes, on behalf of the mother. She's right.
Okay. And then what color shirt and pants was she last seen wearing?
Hold on, let me ask. Then, what color shirt and what was she last wearing? Hold on, we're finding out.
Does she have a cell phone that she might keep on her person?
She doesn't. She had one, but she left it at home conveniently today. Hi, I called not that long ago reporting a missing child. I just wanted to know how long the cops are going to take to get here. All right, thank you, because this happened very recently, so we just want to get everyone here. Since 8 a.m. She's been missing since 8 a.m., so we want to get everything done as soon as possible to try to find her.
You hear those voices. You might hear slightly Jennifer somewhere in the background because they're trying to ask Jennifer questions like what was Maddie last wearing and all that stuff. Jennifer claims later she's so freaked out, I guess she was allegedly so freaked out she couldn't do anything. You know, her sister, her nieces had to check Maddie's phone. Why does she keep claiming she called 911? The fifth time was also in the interview from February 28th. She says, and I called, well, I didn't call, my sister called. Later she says, while we called 911.
My mom's office, she's not here. And he drove immediately to the office and then waited with me while we called 911.
So I have a couple of questions. First of all, why did police feel the need to take all these instances out of Jennifer claiming she called 911? Is it because Jennifer was lying to police and, in essence, almost making a false report? If you continually claim you're the one who literally called 911, when in actuality you did not call, but it was your mom or it was your sister. I don't think Jennifer was that confused. She's trying to make it seem like, oh, I was so confused. I don't know who called 911. I have a couple of theories on that. Cops excluded it perhaps because it would have been evidence to charge her with something. I mean, what do you get charged with for lying to police? For telling police, yes, I called 911 like 5 times, yeah, and then switching it, oh, we called 911, maybe it was my sister, only when the cop calls her on it, only when the cop is trying to verify what she's saying. My other theory about why Jennifer lied, in essence, I don't think it was a misspeak, I think it was an intentional lie. I think Jennifer thought it would sound good for her to tell police, I'm so worried about my daughter, I called 911, I called 911. Over and over again. I called 911 because that's what any distraught, caring mother would do. Immediately call 911. You can't find your daughter. She didn't come out of school. All of that. She knew that's what a distraught mother would do, call 911. I think Jennifer did not call 911 by herself or initiate the call at all because she knew maybe she couldn't play it right. Maybe people would pick up on something in her voice, in her story, in her affect, in whatever, like many of us have often done in listening to 911 calls. She knew, I better not make this call myself. I better wait and wait and wait, stall until someone else suggests calling. So obviously her sister probably suggested it. Her sister called and then Maddie's grandma called and then her sister called back or whatever. Another reason Jennifer, in my mind, probably did this, I was off driving around thinking about this, Jennifer probably knew those women are genuinely worried about Maddie. They don't know what happened to her. Perhaps Jennifer didn't either, but if she did know already, if this was some big ploy between her and Stephan, which is just looking like it is to me, Jennifer knew her mother would come off very sincere. And indeed, Jennifer's mom, Yolanda Zambrano, comes off very sincere in her call. She comes off angry, like, look, what? A missing child isn't important to you? She's genuinely angry. She's trying to get help. Jennifer's sister, she comes off as real and authentic in her call too. She's saying, yes, Maddie left her phone at home conveniently. Like she already knew something was shady with this story already. I can't wait to hear them testify because I'm sure they will tell the truth. Jennifer, on the other hand, it feels like this big ploy. As we go through the redacted parts, then I let you listen to all of it. The parts they pulled out previously of this audio that we can hear now is anytime Jennifer's mentioning her daughter, her mother's office. And to me, it's looking more and more like Jennifer colluded with Stephan to say, yeah, miss me. I'll be at my blood appointment. I'll cancel my Botox appointment. And you come home and, pretend like we missed each other. And then I'll go drive off and wait in this line in school. And I'll leave at 4:10, and guess what? Let's have everyone congregate at my mom's office, so that'll be the place. We'll be away from the condo. Everyone will be there worrying. It just seems like a scripted event. So, for example, what we didn't hear before, Jennifer says, as far as I know, my daughter came downstairs to get ready in her, and she starts to drift off and talk about Maddie's little makeshift living room. But previously they took that out.
As far as I know, my daughter came downstairs to get ready in her.
Did you see your daughter on Monday morning? That's what Jennifer was specifically asked Tuesday night. So they're already questioning, wait, did you see her? They already know this bunch is shady.
Did you see your daughter on Monday morning?
Another part taken out. Jennifer says, because she never came out, I left and I went to my mom's office. So anytime there was mention of her mom or her mom's office, after that, I pulled into my mom's office. 4:30, 4:45. At this point, she should have reached my mom's office.
Because she never came out, I left and I went to my mom's office. And then I pulled into my mom's office. I asked, hey, has she gotten here yet? They said no. It was about 4:30, 4:35. At this point, she should have reached my mom's office. So I went back to the office. And then I was like, is she here yet? My mom's like, no, she hasn't gotten here.
Another part they took out. Jennifer said she asked her mom, is she here yet? My mom was like, no. So then we get into the 911 call lying, and then we get into Jennifer saying, I drove back to my mom's office. I think that's when I called 911. And she's getting in touch with Stephan to tell him Maddie never showed up. After school, she never came out. So, quote, he completely hauled it back to my mom's office.
He completely hauled it back to my mom's office, and then we all stood there waiting for the cops to show up, and they didn't show up till 7:30. We called them around 4:45. Okay.
So I don't know why she's saying back to my mom's office. I think she means just from the condo to my mom's office. And here she goes again. Oh, I missed one because there's so many times she claims she called 911. This is literally actually the third time she claimed it. So technically, Jennifer claims 6 or 7 times that she called 911. So another time she says, I called them around 4:45. Technically, to be fair to Jennifer, I listened again and I think she says we called them around 4:45.
He completely hauled it back to my mom's office, and then we all stood there waiting for the cops to show up, and they didn't show up till 7:30. We called them around 4:45. Okay.
And so she focuses on, okay, it took them so long to arrive, but the big lie is she didn't call them at all. And that's what's really important. Jennifer knew it would look very shady for her not to have called. So it's very, I don't know, she's trying to pull the wool over these officers' eyes, and they're not having it. She tells Tagler at least 3 times Tuesday night, yeah, I think that's when I called 911. I'm not sure if I called 911 before that email or after that email. I called them around 4:45. She's pressing this lie, and what's the point? She's trying to come off as if she did all the right things. The only other things they redacted were when they're asking about her mom's office. And you said your mom works where? And then she gives them the whole thing. And it's interesting that some of the stuff the cops did not redact previously, the state's attorney's office did redact.
Okay. And you said your mom works where? She owns a business. Yes, at my mom's office. Which is where? Let me see.
So that's why I like putting them both all together on the line. So they're all there. See all my fingerprints. And then we have a fuller picture of the entire audio almost, with other redactions not there, and each audio fuller than the next. Squishing them together gives us a fuller picture. So Jennifer's just talking about my mom. Yes, she owns a business. Yes, we were at my mom's office, and the detective is asking, where was Maddie's phone after this? And Jennifer, this is when she gets into the point where she's forgetting when she handed over Maddie's phone to Detective Hunt.
Where was phone after this? With me. My mom's business. I'm sorry. Let me call her again. I got there and I think I called the cops around that time. Is there any reason the phone would be anywhere near that area today?
She has to take time to search for her mom's business. You know, she gets a little distracted. She's searching for her mom's business address. The detective who's also there has to remind her, Detective Acosta has to remind her, okay, did you find your mom's address? Oh my goodness, we have another one. This has got to be number 7. I'm finding more and more the more I go through this. I got there and I think I called the cops around that time. That's what Jennifer says. I got there and I think I called the cops around that time. So we've got at least 7 instances. I was missing a few.
I got there and I think I called the cops around that time.
4 instances in this Tuesday night, February 27th audio where Jennifer claims she herself personally called the cops. And 3 instances in the next one, the next day, February 28th, at least 3, maybe more. All this was previously redacted. Now, if the cops intentionally took that out every single time Jennifer claimed she called 911 herself, why did they take that out? I think they were holding off for charges. Maybe they're still holding off for charges. I mean, it's got to be some kind of charge where you're lying to police. She is intentionally saying, I got there and I think I called the cops around that time, when she never literally picked up her own phone and called 911. You don't hear audio anywhere of Jennifer saying, hi, this is Jennifer Soto. My daughter's missing. My boyfriend dropped her off. Ever since the beginning, Jennifer has been so confused between I, we. Why is it so confusing? Why is it so confusing for Jennifer to just tell, why didn't she say I was too distraught to call? My sister and my mom called for me and I was sitting right there. I don't even think she was on speakerphone the way it sounds, because it's really hard to hear anything Jennifer's saying in that 911 call. So I'll have to find them and play them. But why is she saying so many times, she herself personally called the cops? Obviously, investigators picked up on that. They took it out of all the previous audio that had been released for a reason. I just don't know the reason they took it out, but they definitely caught all these times because they definitely redacted it. I don't know why Jennifer's lying about calling the cops. Something so simple, like they can check, they can pull the audio, they can see who literally made the report of Maddie missing. Maybe Jennifer knew deep inside it would be a false report. So if she called herself, maybe this is her way of trying to avoid false reporting charges. Thinking, if I call myself and report Maddie missing when I knew she wasn't missing, that's a false report. Maybe she was trying to escape that charge by just waiting around until her mom and sisters suggested calling and pretending, I'm so distraught, you guys call or whatever. But I don't think she could get around it, because first of all, she's lying to police, telling them that she called 911 over and over and over again, at least 7 times in here. And secondly, she wrote on that report, I saw Maddie Monday morning. I'm sorry, it's just too many lies. It's too much discrepancy. There's one thing, of course, someone being distraught, their child is missing, they can't function, of course. Let's say if there's a wife and a husband and, the wife is very distraught and she can't even think what to do. I mean, I know this is real life. I know a person whose son was in a car accident and it's like, where's the hospital? They were like, where's the hospital? I don't even know where the children's hospital is. Yes, your mind can go blank. So I'm not talking about that type of distraught confusion. I'm talking about more calculated, Jennifer, I call the cops. Yeah, I call the cops. It's done so often that it's intentional. It's like intentionally misleading investigators. That's a whole different ballgame than if Jennifer was like out of her mind with worry. Where is Maddie? And she can't think, and then her mom calls or her sister calls for her in her stead. Yeah, that makes sense, but not for Jennifer to be calculated about, first of all, who dropped Maddie off. She was very shady about, oh, we dropped her off. Oh, no, my partner dropped her off. Oh, no, I dropped her. Like, she was very shady about that. And now she's being very shady about not calling 911, claiming she called 911. It's too much shadiness. And at the end of this interview, Tagler is going to ask, is there any reason Maddie's phone would be anywhere near that area, the area of Yolanda's office? today, which was Tuesday. And Jennifer at first is like, I don't know. And then she goes, oh, wait, yes, I know. My uncle had walked the path where Maddie walked, on the trail. So she's claiming she knows the exact path that Maddie must have taken, from school. All a lie, of course. We know Maddie didn't walk this path because she wasn't alive Monday afternoon after school. Anyway, Jennifer's saying my uncle walked that same path that Maddie walked, the trail somewhere from the school to her mom's office. Her uncle found some kind of wallet or something. So Detective Hunt, whom Jennifer had previously spoken with, he took Maddie's phone over to the office area and got that wallet. So we've heard that interview with Yolanda Zambrano where she's like, oh, let me show you this wallet I got and all that. So that makes sense. So anyway, I'm just going to let you listen to all the rest of this audio. Again, it's been laid on top of each other so we can hear the missing portions we didn't get to hear before. And I plan to still do the same experiment with any other thing we have left. I mean, some of the other audio is a little bit different, so I have to see if there's anything. If there's anything of value that we're missing, then I plan to create another video similar to this. And then I'll go ahead also and put the raw audio again for this on Patreon so you can hear like all this. Oh, I called 911. Yeah, I think that's when I called the cops. Or I don't know if it was before that email or after that email I called the cops. I'm sorry, just too much lying. It's too much cold calculation. It's not giving me distraught mom. It's giving me, okay, Stephan, how can we, work this? I'll say I waited for her an hour, which I did. I like to be the first parent. She didn't come out. We'll all congregate at my mom's office. Of course, they didn't know cops would take 3 hours. They were probably glad cops took that long because it gave them more time to just say, oh, okay, blame it on the cops. They took forever. I was calling, but Jennifer wasn't really calling. Anyway, the more that comes out, the shadier she looks. Cops knew she was shady. Why else would they have previously redacted all this info? I don't know if they'll be able to come up with some charges after Mr. Stearns goes through his trial. And I think everything else from what I've seen is just kind of still on track. So we'll see if he appears again in court coming up. Let's close real quick before we listen to it all with Revelation 5:5. Revelation 5:5. Then one of the 24 elders said to me, stop weeping. Look closely. The Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has overcome and conquered. He can open the scroll and break its 7 seals. Thanks so much for watching all this. I'm still experimenting, going through. If I find anything else, I'll create a new video about it. If I don't, I won't. But we are getting some really interesting tidbits that really give a fuller picture to Miss Jennifer Soto. It's not as full as what we got from February 28th, all delving into their relationship, but it's fuller in a different way, with her talking about sometimes Stephan will go upstairs and me and my daughter will be in our bed alone. Sometimes. And then all the brouhaha over who called 911. Jennifer can't seem to keep her story straight. She can't seem to say, Stephan took Maddie near school. My sister and my mother called 911. And she never mentions her mother calling 911. Maybe she didn't know. Anyway, there's no audio that they've given us yet of Jennifer calling 911. We don't hear her voice on any 911 call unless they have it hiding somewhere in some file that they haven't given us. I don't think it exists. Okay, listen to all this coming up. Stay tuned. We'll see what else I can find by doing this audio comparison. Thank you so much and take care.
4-11313. Today's date is February 27th, 2024. The time is 23:32 hours. Gonna speak with Jennifer Soto. Hey Jennifer, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Myra Tadlick. I'm a detective with the Sheriff's Office. Do you mind if I talk to you? Do you mind if we talk over there by the car? Can I be inside? That's fine.
Where? Inside the house?
In the car.
Yeah. My car?
Yeah. Oh, look at the baby. Does it lock?
No, it should be fine.
Over here, please.
Want to be able to go back home soon?
I'll explain it in a second. Okay? I have a question too before we get started. Somebody said something like somebody in here has a gun. Is that a true statement or a false statement?
That's a true statement.
Okay, where is this gun at right now?
It is upstairs in the guest bedroom.
It's not like in any of these cars out here.
No, I don't believe so. I think it's upstairs in the guest bedroom. Bedroom number 4. It's got a number 4 on it.
Okay, how certain are we of that?
As far as I know, the gun is inside upstairs. I haven't heard of it being in the car.
Okay. Let me just move my purse.
If you want to take driver.
I could be incorrect. I'm not sure.
If you want to start the car and just give me 1 second.
Yeah. Let me make this. I know it's not the most comfortable. But at least you won't be cold over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get having the same way, so I understand. You want to take a seat right over here? And then she's gonna. Right up there.
Do you have your keys on you?
Yeah. Here, have her a little closer just in case.
Sorry, this isn't my car. There we go. Okay, so I'm not sure if he introduced himself, but his name is Luis Acosta. Okay? We both work for Orange County Sheriff's Office. So I understand you spoke with the other guy earlier with Detective Frank Hunt. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We have officially taken over the case, okay? So...
Are you guys with Kissimmee?
No, we're with Orange County. It's just a different unit.
Oh, okay. What unit are you with?
We're with sex crimes.
Okay.
It's just because of her age and is why we take over. Does that make? I know it's kind of confusing, but like we have like different rules in Orange County, and depending on like people's age, we sometimes take over investigation when it comes to missing persons.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When you talked to him earlier, I kind of got like a brief synopsis of what happened. I understand you have a new job.
Yes.
Okay, and if I say anything that's incorrect, please correct me, okay? You have a new job, and last night you asked them to go sleep upstairs because you wanted to get rest. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. What time was this? Do you remember? It doesn't have to be like exact time, but like just. And then yesterday she had Sunday she had her birthday party, right?
Sunday she had her birthday party.
Okay, what time was that party at?
It started at 3 o'clock.
Okay, from 3 to what time?
I'm not sure. I wasn't there. I was at work.
Oh, okay, you weren't there.
But I know my sister brought my daughter home around 8:30.
Was Stephan here at that time?
I'm not sure if he was here at the time, but I think he got here a little bit after. And he was like, okay, she was already doing what she was supposed to. She had taken her nighttime meds, and she was getting ready for bed, like taking a shower. She'd take showers at night. So he's like, okay, she was already on it. I didn't get home until, I'm going to say 10:30.
Okay.
And then at 11, I sent him to bed.
Did Stephan make it to the party?
No.
Okay. And then once you get here, you said you sent her to bed at 11. And the following morning, well, I'm sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. You send them upstairs, right? How many bedrooms are upstairs?
3.
Okay. Where did you sleep?
In bedroom number 4.
Okay. And what about Stephan?
Bedroom number 4.
Okay. Is it normal for both of them to sleep in the same room?
Sometimes. When I really need a good night's sleep, I will send them upstairs. But when, also a lot of times, we will sleep together in the king-size bed, all 3 of us. Or sometimes Stephan will go upstairs and me and my daughter will be in our bed alone. So it just really depends on what's going on that night with our schedules and what we're doing.
Okay, where were you sleeping?
Downstairs in the king-size bed.
Okay. Is it just you 2 here? Or you guys have a roommate, right?
We have 2 roommates, and one of the roommates has a son who's here like a little bit more than half the week.
So what rooms do you guys use?
The room downstairs, the master bedroom downstairs, and room number 4.
Okay. So it wasn't last night, it was the night before. And Stephan slept in bedroom number 4 and you slept downstairs?
Yes.
In the master. Okay. What time did you wake up?
I'm going to say around 8 o'clock in the morning, Stephan came into the room and was trying to put the leash on the dog. Somewhere between, he came into the room somewhere between 8 and 8:15. He came in to put the leash on the dog, and I got up to try to help him because my dog is kind of a nervous dog and I didn't want him to pee on the bed. So we wrangled him, put him on his leash, and he said, go back to sleep. And I said, okay. So I laid back and went back to sleep.
Okay.
I heard people in the kitchen. I'm not sure exactly who was in the kitchen. As far as I know, my daughter came downstairs to get ready in her. So she's kind of got a bedroom in the living room. If you go into the apartment, you'll see there's like one of those fake walls, separating half the bedroom. She's got like a desk with a bedroom and a TV and a dresser. But she'll hang out there during the day, but she never sleeps there. She always sleeps with me, and then the rare occasion upstairs. But most of the time it's with me.
Okay. Did you see your daughter on Monday morning?
Visually see her? No.
Did you hear her?
I heard many people in the kitchen. I'm not sure if it was my roommate or her specifically.
Okay, is your roommate a male or a female?
Female.
Okay.
They're both females.
When was the last time you physically saw?
Wednesday, 11 o'clock. I'm sorry. Sunday, 11 o'clock.
Sunday when you sent her to bed?
To bed.
Okay. And then when you woke up, you said you woke up briefly because Stephan went in there. Did you go back to sleep?
Yes.
What time did you get up?
Let me see if I actually have my alarm set. No, I don't have a specific day on there. Let me check something real quick. I'm pretty sure I woke up around 9 o'clock in the morning. And then I left at 9:30.
I had an appointment.
I had a doctor's appointment at like 10:15. But they took a while. And then by the time they did my blood work and whatever, I think I got home somewhere between 11 and 11:15.
Okay. When you got back, was Stephan here?
I'm pretty sure he was, yeah.
What was he doing?
Just sitting in my room. At my computer desk on his phone.
Okay. What did you guys do?
We chatted for a little bit. I asked him what had happened, because he had called me earlier at 10. Let me see. Pretty sure he called me around 10:18.
What did he call you for?
To let me know, that they didn't go to McDonald's as planned. He had asked her multiple times if she wanted to stop at McDonald's, because that was the plan the night before. But they were going to wake up early. He was going to take her to McDonald's, do like a special McDonald's breakfast, and then drop her off at school early, because she wanted to get there a little early. But on his way to school, she was very sleepy and wanted to sleep in the car. And she said she did not want to do McDonald's. She just wanted to be dropped off.
Okay.
Also to let me know that he left his phone at home, because I had called him multiple times and he hadn't picked it up. He had left his phone at home by accident. He had went to the vape shop, but they didn't open on time, so he had waited for quite a while in front of the vape shop. They didn't open, so he left and came back, and we hung out a little bit, and then I think he left again to the vape shop to go buy what he needed.
Okay.
Do you want the name of the vape shop?
Yes. If you have it on top of your mind, I'm sure we're going to talk again soon, and we'll have more.
No, I'm just saying, because that might be helpful if you want to see like surveillance or anything.
Okay, so at some point I understand he gets like a flat tire and he's not able to go with you to pick up from school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you get to the school, how do you realize that she wasn't there?
So I left her. I usually leave around 2:30 to pick her up. She gets out of school at 4. So I wait it takes me about 20-25 minutes to get to the school, and then I wait about an hour for her to get out. I waited the whole time, and then when the bell rang and then it was time for her to come out, she wasn't one of the first kids like she normally is. And I realized I was holding up the line because everyone behind me had children, and they needed to get out because I was the first in line. So after about, I'm going to say, I think it was like 4:10, she didn't come out and I was holding up the line, so I drove away. I said, maybe I forgot to tell her that I was picking her up that day, because I don't know if she knew that I wasn't working that day. But I had assumed that she thought, she knew that I was going to go get her. So because she never came out, I left and I went to my mom's office. She works less than, I'm going to say it's like a 3-minute drive from the school. It's very close. She works in the Hunters Creek Villages area. I drove that way, and I drove along the path that she would walk, and I didn't see her. And then I pulled into my mom's office. I asked, hey, has she gotten here yet? They said no. And I said, okay, let me wait a little bit. And I parked back again on Hunter's Park Lane, I think. And I waited along that lane to see if I would see her walking. And I didn't see her walking. And it was about 4:30, 4:35. At this point, she should have reached my mom's office. So I went back to the office. And then I was like, is she here yet? My mom was like, no, she hasn't gotten here. And I said, okay, hold on. Let me see. I called her best friend. And I was like, hey, are you with... I don't know if I told her I was picking her up from school today or to walk to the office, but I don't see her anywhere. And she goes, no, she never came to school today. She didn't come to first or second period. And I said, what do you mean? We dropped her off close to school. She should have walked to school. She goes, no, she never made it to any of her periods. And I said, can you please check with your other friends in your other classes to see if she ever made it? She got back to me and said no. At this point, I started to panic because I realized something was wrong. I emailed one of her teachers, a few of her teachers actually, and one of them responded to me. He said she didn't make it to his period at all, and he checked all her other classes, and she didn't make it to school at all. That's when I knew something was truly wrong, and I'm not sure if I called 911 before that email or after that email. But I started panicking and freaking out because she should have been to school. She should have made it.
And then I understand she forgot her phone, right?
Yeah.
Is it common for her to not have her phone?
Yes. She's got ADHD. She's super forgetful. She doesn't even... She never realizes that she's in the shower for a whole hour. She loses track of time. She's very...
And then you guys went looking for her, right?
Yes.
Where did you look? Like, did you drive somewhere? Did you walk? Like, where did you go look for her?
Okay. So, after her best friend called me, actually, or I talked to her best friend on the phone, I went back to the school to see, let me check her official attendance, let me see what's going on. They were already closed. Nobody was at the school. So I searched by backtracking into the school and then coming back out and seeing that there were no kids at the school at all. So then I drove back to my mom's office. Everything was driving. And then I think that's when I called 911. I must have gotten a response from her teacher at that point. But,
Did you come back to the apartment at any point yesterday once you realized she was missing?
Stephan was at home waiting for us to get back. And then when I told him something was wrong, she never made it to school, he completely hauled it back to my mom's office, and then we all stood there waiting for the cops to show up, and they didn't show up till like 7:30. We called them around 4:45.
Okay.
It took them a while to respond. I think they were looking for other missing kids around the area too. But yeah, no, we did not come back home until we were done with the police. We were done with everything. There was nothing else for us to do except come back.
Where was her phone when all of this was happening?
With me.
How did you get the phone if you never came back here?
I took it with me to go pick her up from school. I was going to give it to her when she got in the car and be like, listen, you forgot your phone again, and let her play on it. I'll do that sometimes when she forgets it. I bring the phone with me and I just give it to her afterwards. But I had brought it with me to go pick her up from school.
Okay. And you said your mom works where?
She owns a business. I'll get you the address exactly. Yeah.
And then, did you at any point check her phone out while you had it?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Okay. Actually, I started looking, but I could not concentrate on reading anything. I was too panicked and too worried. I handed the phone to my sister. She's the one, and my niece. They both started going through her texts. I saw her texts. Nothing seemed weird. No weird random people. Everyone is someone I was familiar with or had heard about. They checked her Roblox. They checked her Discord. I checked her Discord as well. There was nothing weird. One of the police officers taught me to look at deleted text messages. We looked at those as well. They were random text messages deleted. They weren't anything.
Do you remember where you were when you were looking at her phone?
Yes, at my mom's office.
Which is where?
Let me see. Is it okay if I call her?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll get the exact address.
And then while she answers, were you guys, when you guys were looking for her, did you guys keep looking for her in the Hunters Creek area or somewhere else?
Hunters Creek area.
Okay. Did you guys come back here at any point?
No.
What time did you guys come back home?
Hold on a second. What time did we come back? What time did we come back? That was a very good question. I was gonna say it was like somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock p.m.
Did you guys go back out after that?
Stephan went back out.
And this was last night, right?
Yes.
Okay. Where was phone after this?
With me.
Okay. Did you leave the house at any point with her phone after this?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
Hold on. No, I think it's been home all day today, too.
It's been home all day today?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
What time did the police take her phone?
Oh, just kidding. Yeah, they took it. I don't have it anymore. What time did he take the phone? I've made so many phone calls today and seen so many people today that I
Was it
don't know.
light out or dark out?
It was light out. It was
still light.
Yeah, it was during the
Okay.
daytime.
And then, but other than that, her phone was here all day.
In the morning, yes.
Did you guys take the phone anywhere other than when Detective Hunt took the phone?
I think it's been home all day. I don't think I left the house with it.
Okay. Did Stephan have access to the phone?
I'm sorry, I took my medicine, so I feel a little spacey. I think I've had it with me. I think it's been with me.
Okay. Did you go through her phone today?
Yes.
Okay. Where was that at?
Here.
And what were you looking for at that time?
To see if there was anything else. What we couldn't access on Monday night was Roblox. So my niece came over and logged into her Roblox and checked out messages. But then they were also, my sister was also looking through her phone to see if there was anything.
Here at the house?
Yes.
And that was today?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys have her account information as far as like her iCloud and all that stuff? Or is it just on her phone?
I've had a hard time logging into it before when I was trying to get her a new phone. So I'm not sure if I can log in to her iCloud. I think it's all on her phone.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because they took the phone and they downloaded it, right? They can see like if somebody tries to access her accounts and stuff like that. So if you guys do have access to anything, if you guys can refrain from like logging back in.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
So it doesn't look like if she tries to like access her accounts from like somewhere else, that way we can track that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So they're asking if you can, just try not logging into any more of her accounts so that when he's going through the phone, it doesn't look like she's trying to log on from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything else that they wanted us to clarify?
Did you find the address to your mom's?
My mom's business. I'm sorry. Let me call her again.
Or what's the name of it?
Oh, if I could remember her business name, I don't know.
What kind of business is it?
It's an insurance business. I think Advanced Insurance something group.
And then I know that you've been with us for the most part of the day, right?
Yes.
We have, I want to say maybe like 40 people out here, okay? Between us and Kissimmee. And we're all, going to be working basically overnight and throughout the day tomorrow until we find, okay? Tonight, what we're going to do is, I know we already secured your house, right? We asked everybody to leave. So another thing that I'm gonna ask is if you guys can find somewhere else to stay for the night, because we're gonna have Kissimmee out here at your apartment for the rest of the night, because the people that come and like take pictures and all that other stuff are not gonna respond until the morning. Okay, so nobody can go into the house for the rest of the night until the house gets, we need to take pictures and do other stuff with the house. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
And unfortunately, because you guys have such a big apartment, it's not something that only one person does. Like, we don't do that, right? We have our forensics unit come out. And it's not something that one person can do by herself. So she has to wait until people come in, because they're on call after midnight, right? So she has to wait for the other people to come in the morning, and then they're all going to come in as a unit and try to get it done as quick as possible.
Okay. I need to go back into the house. I have medication that I have to take in order to be like normal. Is there a possibility that I can go back in there and get my meds?
Yes. Give me a few minutes, and then we'll try to figure out how we can get your medication. Okay, but that's something that we can definitely get. Okay. Does it make sense what I'm telling you?
Yes. I just don't know what we're gonna do about finding a place to go, but okay.
And then, because he was lost in Stephan's car, we're also going to tow his car.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions about anything that I'm telling you? Okay, so from now on, it'll probably be me getting in touch with you, okay? Not Detective Hunt. Okay? Okay. Do you understand everything that we discussed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get your direct number?
Yes. And then,
My mom's job address, if I remember correctly, is 13550 Village Park Lane, Suite 125. In Orlando, Florida.
that's in
Hunters Creek.
Harners Creek, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Village Park Drive, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
And 13550.
Yes.
Is that like an apartment complex?
It's a business building? I don't know. It's a building with a lot of business and offices inside.
And when did you say you were there?
I got there around 4, well, see, I left and came back, so 4:45, I got there, and I think I called the cops around that time, and then I stayed until they had left.
Were you there today? Is there any reason someone would be anywhere near that area today?
No, I don't think so. It's been with me. Oh, Detective Hunt went back to that office. I'm so sorry, and he had her phone.
Okay, he had her phone at that time.
Yeah.
Why did he go back to that office?
Because my uncle had walked the path where walked along the trail, and he had found a wallet with not 90 but like credit cards and something that had somebody's state on it. So he went to pick it up to see if it was of any interest.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you my business card. I'm still here for a little bit longer. I'm gonna talk to Stephan one more time. There was like a few things that we needed to clarify with him, and then we're gonna, like, me physically, after I get done talking to Stephan, I'm gonna try to go get rest, right? Because we're gonna continue to do all this.
Yeah.
There's other detectives that are coming from my unit, okay? So, like, there's always gonna be somebody here, Okay. So just because I physically am not here, don't think that we're not physically working on this. We have a lot of people in our unit, right? So we're taking like shifts. And then the people we have violent crimes out here as well. And they're here till 4 in the morning. So I don't want you to think that like, just because I'm leaving, that we're not still actively working on this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like they are here till 4 in the morning, and then the day shift people that also work violent crimes come in around that same time, so they're gonna take over. So like we have like people working till a certain time, and then other people coming and taking over. Okay. So like I said, just because I physically am not here doesn't mean that we're not still working on something. Does that make sense?
Real quick, I don't remember Detective Tagler asked, but yesterday when you guys were out looking, do you remember what time you were out looking till?
So yesterday, I stayed in the office. My family went out searching.
Which office?
My mom's office.
Your mom's office.
1355. Yeah.
You stayed until what time?
I'm gonna say somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock. I left and then I came home.
You came straight here.
Yeah.
And then who was out? Your family was out looking?
Yeah, but I think they all stopped when. Actually, I'm not sure. One of my uncles might have kept searching along the trail, but I'm not sure until what time he was out. My dad as well.
What about Stephan?
Stephan went out sometime in the middle of the night and went searching, cruising around to see if he could figure out where she might be.
What car was he driving?
My car.
Was anybody driving Stephan's car?
No, just Stephan.
And what time was he out?
I have no idea. I fell asleep. But I know he drove my car because when I got into it, I said, "Oh, the seat's adjusted. Did you drive my car?" He goes, "Yeah, remember I said I was going to take a drive tonight to go search for her because he does have like insomnia. He can't sleep at night sometimes, and especially like that's what's going on right now. But I'm not sure what time he may have come in or out. But if you guys look at my gate clicker, you need that to come in the front gate. You can see what times he may have come in and out.
Okay. I don't think I have anything else for you. We're gonna clear some things with Stephan, and then I will let you know before I head out. Okay? Do you promise that everything you said today is true?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Ending the recording at 009.